Hello, I'm doing a movie review, and the movie I want to review is Batman Under the Red Hood. Now, Under the Red Hood is a direct-to-DVD animated film which came out in 2010, and this is part of a series of animated films from DC. Now, this is actually based on two different Batman comics. This is based on the comic A Death in the Family, which is the comic where Jason Todd, who was the second Robin, died, and it's also based on a comic called Under the Hood, but it also takes some elements from the Alan Moore graphic novel Batman the Killing Joke. Now, when I say this movie takes elements from Batman the Killing Joke, it's because there's a certain part in this movie where the Joker's origin is brought up, and his origin that is presented in this movie is very similar to his origin in the graphic novel Batman the Killing Joke. However, in Batman the Killing Joke, it was only implied that that was actually his origin, because at the end of the book, the Joker does basically say that he's not sure if that's what really happened or not, because he says something to the effect of, if he were to have a past, he would prefer it to be multiple choice. Now, I genuinely loved Batman Under the Red Hood. Like, I would recommend this even for people who aren't very big fans of animated films, really based on the story alone, because the story for this movie is, in my opinion, one of the best stories I've ever seen in any of the Batman films, at least any of the animated Batman films, which is kind of saying something, though, because a lot of these animated Batman films have actually had some really good stories to them, but the story for this movie, I think, is definitely one of the best out of all the stories for these movies. But the plot of Under the Red Hood is it begins where Jason Todd, who of course was the second Robin, gets killed by the Joker. Then it jumps ahead to 5 years later, and what happens is there's now a new criminal in Gotham City called the Red Hood, who has taken control of Gotham City's drug trade, and this is really pissing off a crime lord known as the Black Mask, and the Black Mask starts going after the Red Hood, and a lot of the movie deals with Batman trying to figure out who the Red Hood actually is, and in the movie Nightwing shows up, who of course is Dick Grayson, who was the first Robin, and Nightwing tries helping Batman out with this, and and the character of the Red Hood is a very interesting character because he actually genuinely believes what he's doing is right, because he actually views himself as more of a vigilante. Like his way of fighting crime is taking control of crime, while Batman tries to stop crime, but, he's a very interesting character, and without giving too much away, the climax of this movie, I'm not gonna lie, the climax of this movie is kind of tear-jerking. Like, there's a lot of, really emotional moments in this movie. Now this is also a very funny movie, too. Like when the Joker shows up in this movie, the Joker is psychotic as hell, but at the same time, he's actually really funny. Like, there's some lines of dialogue that the Joker says in this movie, which I actually laughed out loud at, and also Neil Patrick Harris plays the voice of Nightwing in the movie, and he's also really funny as well. And even the character of the Black Mask, who is actually a really intimidating character, at the same time, he does say a lot of dialogue which really made me laugh. Like, even though for the most part it's a pretty serious movie, there is a lot of moments in the movie which are genuinely funny. But yeah, Batman Under the Red Hood, I highly recommend if you haven't seen it, and bye.